Hi, I'm Terry and I'm nuts about stamping. I'm back today with another Sundays with Sizzix project. It's a baby card that I'm going to create using my Big Shot. My card base is going to be Raspberry Ripple. I've cut it 8.5 by 5.5, put it on my Simply Scored it at the 4 1/4 mark, and that's going to be my card base. To that, I'm going to add a layer of crumb cake. I chose these two colors because on my Facebook business page this week, my color challenge, I do a color challenge every week, is crumb cake and raspberry ripple. So I thought I would do a card using those combinations. I'm going to use my Big Shot and an old standby, the Square Lattice embossing folder, to emboss the layer on the front of my card. I haven't used this embossing folder for a very long time. I have my platform on tab 1, bottom standard cutting pad, my folder with the cardstock inside, and top standard cutting pad. And then run it on through. And there we go. So that is going to be the layer on my card. Let's see, I think I'm going to put it this way. So I'm using some snail adhesive. And let me adhere this nice and straight. There we go. Now, I want to put an image on the front of my card. So I've cut a piece of Whisper White cardstock. I think it's 3 by 2.5. If you hop on over to my blog afterwards, I'll make sure that I do have the correct measurements there. I'm going to use my crumb cake ink, and I have a brand new stamp set that just arrived this week. It's called Zoo Babies, and it's just so cute for baby cards. So I'm going to use the giraffe image. I've mounted it on clear block, I think it's D. I'm going to ink it up using my crumb cake ink and stamp it down. There we go. And then I have cut a piece of crumb cake cardstock to be a base to that image. And I've cut it 1/4 inch larger. Just make sure that's nice and dry. My ink pad's very juicy. Yep, it's dry. So I'm going to add that as a layer, like so. And then I'm going to put it on my card front using some Stampin' Dimensionals because I'd like to have it lift off of the Square Lattice underneath. So I'm going to put a Stampin' Dimensional in the corners and one in the center, just in case I decide to mail this card. I don't want it to be flat in the center. There we go. And I'm going to put it up like so. And then there is a Hostess stamp set that's called Banner Greetings. You can earn this stamp set for free by placing a $150 order or more, or you can have your friends over and I'll come on over to your place and we'll stamp up a storm, and based on the sales that night you can earn it for free as well. And it's got a little stamp that says Baby Cakes. And even though the Zoo Babies stamp set has images, word images in there, I just like the baby cakes. So I've gone ahead and stamped it in Raspberry Ripple. And I'm going to cut it out. We do not have a framelit at this point that matches this stamp set, but it's quick and easy to cut out. And then I'm going to add it down to the bottom of my card. Maybe. There we go. like so. And then the last thing I'd like to do is I'd like to add a piece of ribbon, maybe a bow. Let's see what a bow looks like at the bottom of the card. It just looks like the card needs something a little extra special. So I've created a bow. Maybe I'll put it on an angle up there. There seems to be sort of an empty corner. So let me show you how I made the bow again. I leave my ribbon right on the bolt, and I just do sort of the last part of tying your shoes. I make a bow, like a loop. I wrap it around, push it through, and then make that second bow, or sorry, second loop. And then all I do is just adjust it until I'm happy with it. Now I do know for this card front I want it to be a tiny bow. Okay, I'm happy with that. And then I'm going to bring in my ribbon cutting scissors and just cut it right down. So I have a cute little bow. And what I will do is use a mini glue dot, put it on the back side of the bow, and what I do is I just actually press the bow right onto the roll of glue dots, right on top of a glue dot, and add my bow in the corner like that. And there we go. I've created a really cute and very simple baby card that's ready to send to somebody special. Now obviously on the inside of the card I would either add a whisper white layer or I would add a crumb cake layer and then write my message inside for the mother who has just had a little baby. For a complete listing of the supplies and the measurements for the cardstock layers, hop on over to my blog, www.nutsaboutstamping.com. While on my blog, you can look through lots of other sample ideas. I try and post a new idea every day. You can subscribe to my customer newsletters. I have a newsletter coming out on Tuesday. You can place an order for the supplies I use to make this card. You can ask me a question, or you can check out all the clubs and classes that I have going on. I'm Terri. I am Nuts About Stamping. See you next time. Bye for now.